Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 683 of the DrunkNerds podcast. I'm host, as always. I'm Tyler, and joining me, we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sir Colonel Gables. What's up, buddy?
You know what? I've been pretty busy this week, honestly. Well, with work and everything else in between and stuff. Plus, fantasy football thing that we just got done drafting like about like an hour or so ago at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been fairly good. On top of that, I have been playing a little bit of games here and there, so yeah, it's been pretty well and stuff. But yeah, there were some pretty fun surprises this week too, in terms of like gaming stuff that happened. But yeah, I kind of like how some of the stuff this week went, but how
Nice.
have you been doing, Tyler?
I'm doing okay. First off, Micah fucking Parsons. I'm a Packers fan. Packers getting Micah Parsons totally lifted my spirits. Got one of the probably the best non-quarterback in the entire NFL on your team. It makes you just feel really good about yourself. First thing I did when I got home from work on Thursday after the trade happened was I went to go make the trade in my NFL, my Madden franchise, and the game wouldn't let it happen. I actually had to go in and force the trade. I didn't do like I just two first round picks and Kenny Clark for Micah Parsons. I
Hmm.
had to go in and force it to make it happen. Uh, so and then Gables' first game I played with him. Uh, he had seven tackles, 4.5 sacks, forced fumble, and broke his elbow. He's out for the season. So I was like, oh, God damn it. So yeah, I'm like, son of a bitch. So now I'm down my best defensive tackle and my best pass rusher. So, but it's all right. It's Madden. So, but yeah, I'm doing okay. It's been an up and down week. Clinging and banging as always though. But it's yeah, I talked about a while ago. It's this my job announced to us a few months ago that we're all getting laid off. Here it is like the in mid September. We're doing like we're going through like phases of like shifting and stuff like that. It kind of started this past Friday, so like it was like our last normal day this past Friday, like running my route. So it was a kind of a I didn't think it hit me so hard. Going through my towns again, because like I deliver to like rural Iowa, so um, the odds of me going to these towns again is very, very, very minimal. So it's kind of a bittersweet, going. I've been at this job for 5 years now. I've been on this route for almost four of it, and it's like I go through these roads. I go to all these places. I see a lot of people almost every day for years now. I have a lot of small businesses I like to go to. Is like a coffee shop and stuff on my route. I like going to. I say goodbye to them. A lot of my normal people. Yeah, so it's bittersweet. And then like just coworkers too. Like some of them are going over to like a handful are keeping their jobs. So it was bittersweet. Saying goodbye to some of them. And then this week we're doing some like weird stuff the next couple of weeks as we kind of wind things down. And it's gonna be kind of more the same as like going through waves of people slowly leaving to go over to the new place or so yeah, it's just a bit of bittersweet week, and but the Michael Parsons news definitely helped kind of
Oh
pick up my
yeah.
spirits. If there was ever a week for something like this to happen for me, it was definitely probably the week for it to happen. So yeah, but yeah, I don't know, emotions all over the place. It was but yeah, I'm feeling okay. Like you Gables, I've been playing a decent amount of video games, mainly just one, Metal Gear Solid Delta. But we'll talk about it later. Um, but yeah, no, like I said, I'm doing okay overall. I'm drinking a couple beers. We just did a fantasy football draft, and we got another one next.
Yeah.
I think I got two next week. I got to do. Um, so yeah,
Yeah, I
then
think that you and I both have the same one, like on that Wednesday, I think
yeah,
it is.
yeah, I'm in another one too that I don't really. I just kind of, that one I just kind of fuck around in. I just like cause chaos. So that one I like. That's my like fuck around league. I don't really care about if I win or lose. But I just like to fuck with people more than anything. But yeah, college football started, so Iowa won. That was pretty cool. See Iowa win. They played
Yeah.
some cupcake though, so that was nice though. But yeah, I'm like I said, doing okay. But anyways, this is a video game podcast where Gables and I get together every week and talk about video games and everything we love about them. Normally we record on Saturday night and the podcast goes up on Sunday, but here in the United States, it is Labor Day weekend, so Gables and I decided to push it. We're recording on Sunday night and it's going up Monday rather than the Saturday Sunday recording. Um, just it was nice to have an extra day to having Saturday night to just kind of relax and stayed up till 12:30 in the morning playing Metal Gear Solid Delta, which was nice just to do that. But yeah, anyways, if you guys want to support us anyway, the best way, we're on every podcast service. We're on social media, stuff like that. If you want to support us, there are links down below to go to all those places. But just look for us in any podcast service. Drunk Nerds, Drunk Nerds. You'll find us. 5-star review, leave comments, wherever you can help over there to help us out in the algorithm. We really appreciate it. Subscribe, stuff like that. Best place to help us out though is on YouTube. YouTube.com/drunknerds. That should bring you to us. Whether or just look for Drunk Nerds, you'll find us. And like I said, once again, link down below in the description. But if you want to go there, honestly, the best thing, that's the thing we push the hardest. If you guys want to subscribe to us over there, thumbs up, leave a comment, share with your friends. Also, we do have we do have a membership that we offer, just $1 a month. We don't have anything like extra to give you necessarily, but just a way to say, hey, we appreciate it. We like what you're doing. Like I said, we are two guys that have full-time jobs, or at least Gables has a full-time job. I have one for a couple more weeks until I get laid off. But anyways, I got to figure out a way to say that better, I guess now. But anyways, yeah. So that is who we are. But anyways, Gables, let's jump into some of the news this week. I just feel like we're in a weird spot. I think with news right now, where it's just like Gamescom came and went. There's a lot of just kind of game stuff going on there. But we're now definitely into like the part of the year where I think just a lot of video games are gonna come out, and then maybe not so much news going on. Although maybe we get that we sometimes get like a state of play Labor Day week, so maybe we get a state of play this week, and then we get direct maybe next week after that. Who knows? But some details kind of came out though from a YouTuber. I've heard the name through like this kind of circumstances before, but I don't know anything about the guy personally. Moore's Law is Dead. It's a YouTube channel. Apparently they're pretty good on leaking details about like stuff on the technical side, like usually like hardware stuff. But they have come out, and this has come from VGC here. They've come out and said that obviously things can change, but like PlayStation right now is working on a PS6 that would be kind of like Switch-like in the sense of like it's handheld, but also is dockable, and then also which is cool. But I mean, I guess Gables, before we jump into more of that, I mean, when you heard this news, what was your overall thoughts on potentially a Switch-like PS6?
After hearing a lot of these rumors, I think it'd be a dumb enough idea not to try it. I mean, look at it this way: you have looks like almost every major gaming company at this point that are kind of having their own handheld equivalent, since Nintendo really releasing the Switch way back in 2017 and seeing how profitable that was, making the appeal for console-like experiences on the go and all that other stuff. So for Sony to go and not just re-delve back into the handheld market, but just go head first into it, feels weird, but at the same time, I don't really put it past them that they would try to implement some form of a portability factor for the PlayStation 6, even if it's something as simple as, oh, okay, here's the dock, here's the system, take it with you, do this and do that. Is it original? No, but at the same time, you have Microsoft that's also putting out their own branding and handheld and stuff, partnering with ROG and stuff to do that stuff. So, but even so, for at least for Xbox's standard stuff, they're still going to have what we're thinking a traditional console, possibly. Yeah. But for Sony, it makes the most sense for them, only because they're the only ones really that don't have that dedicated gaming handheld that's not just used for streaming, remote play only to their system. So they probably are feeling kind of the pressure of, oh, okay, well, you have the Switch that did success. You have the successor to that, the Switch 2. You have the Steam Deck, and now you have this Xbox ROG handheld that's going to be coming out later this year. So having some sort of competing handheld to where people's like, okay, how can we give people the PlayStation experience on the go here without it being completely kind of like messed up like it was for previous efforts? I mean, I think that would happen, personally.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm pretty much with that idea as well, where like I thought for sure, like I mean, that was and it kind of like I talked about a couple years ago, where I'm like I would, if I'm Xbox, I'm like, instead of a Series S, maybe I'm gonna have my base, the home console, the box actually, and then instead of the Series S having like making the alternative like the actual handheld and like a dock, maybe, and possibly being dockable, or it should be dockable. And it sounds like eventually that was actually what they were planning. It sounds like they kind of put that on hold for now, and then obviously we're seeing with the Rogue Ally thing. So maybe this is kind of like a tester to see how this like goes and find out if that's worth going down that path here eventually, or maybe they just decide, you know what, we're not doing that. We'll have this will be like that option, and then we'll just the next Xbox will just be like, you know, a traditional home console. Initially when I heard this, I was a little concerned just with the idea of like, is this replacing the home console? And it sounds like that's not the case. Sounds like this also it sounds like as of right now it's planned for like late 2027. So I'm kind of cool with that because it's like you know, there's been some people have been talking. It could be next year. I'm like, it feels like we barely got into this generation. I don't know if we need next year. I honestly wonder if like 2027 might be too soon. But yeah, I mean, it's weird because it's like it's not going like if we go like all the way down this path, it's not necessarily like the most exciting, you know, place to go with gaming. But it's also like with the Switch 2, where it's like it's that weird thing where it's like that's kind of where we want them to go. Is like just be smart about it. It's like we want the Switch 1 again, but more powerful. You know, and it's like we got that, but it's also at the same time it's like that's not really that exciting. It's like this weird like, you know, you're I don't know, like we got what we wanted, but we're not entirely happy with it type thing. And it's like I don't know if I want everybody doing this. Like you know, it's like Nintendo is doing. I think that this works. Like we've seen like the Steam Deck is like, I think it's pretty successful for what they wanted to be. I don't know if it's crazy successful, but it sounds like it's better than what they thought it would be initially. I don't know, I'm just wondering though what's gonna happen with like we're flooding the market with these things, and like is it we're gonna get to the point where like everybody's selling less now, like because like there's too much demand, you know, like because someone's gonna like this is gonna work out for everybody, you know, someone's gonna like this is gonna blow up in the face of somebody, and it seems like Nintendo seems like they're okay, like as long as Nintendo was able to put out first party and then like you know the indie games stuff like that around that kind of keep them going as well, they'll be fine. But it's like Xbox is like with the Rogue Ally thing, it's like that's gonna be definitely the boutique item. Like that thing's gonna be crazy expensive to like get in on that one. Obviously, like we don't know what the PlayStation 6 handheld thing could be like. Obviously, assuming this happens, but I don't know. I'm someone that loves like, and I know like it's definitely an issue that we got to figure out the whole problem of like I love these gigantic, beautiful, gorgeous, like video games. Like I love those are like like obviously I don't like I'll play anything. I play from like these $2 games on Steam to like Final Fantasy 16 or whatever, you know, I'll play those things. But it's like I'm someone that like I absolutely love those style of games, and it's like I'd be kind of bummed if like those kind of went away and like to like we're gonna like hey we're gonna focus on the handhelds. Like I'm like also like what's the price point of this thing gonna be like, and like what's the power of this thing gonna be, because like we hear issues of like with the Xbox Series S of like a lot of like people like the later we get into this generation where like more and more of these bigger games are having problems with working with Series S. It's like, are these just going to be like the Series S all over again, but like the handheld version of it? Like, I don't like, and also like, cool, like these things are more powerful than, you know, like that won't be an issue, but it's like how, like, these things are going to be, how expensive is this thing going to fucking be? Like, these things are going to be more expensive than like, potentially just as, if not more expensive than the home console. I don't know. It's just a weird spot where I'm just like, I'm all over the place with it, where it's like, it makes sense to try it. It's like, especially because like, hey, we're seeing there's a growing audience for this. PlayStation Portable, the Portal thing is like, it's sold better than what even like what PlayStation thought. Like this thing was like selling out as like for like the first year or so, it was like selling out as soon as they put it up. They put out more units to sell, but it's like this like from like I think it was like it sold a couple million units, which for what it is that's great. But it's like yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I'm all over the map where it's like. It's not a future. Like I have zero interest in buying a PlayStation 6 portable thing. Like I'm like or an Xbox One. I'm like if I'm gonna buy, and for Xbox and PlayStation, what I want out of them is like I want the graphics. I want the like the big pretty thing. I want like you know like Nintendo is like I buy Nintendo Switch 2 for the first party, and like PlayStation like I want those big AAA experiences on those consoles, and I don't want them to go away. So it's like I don't know, but it's also like. I get where like you know those type of things maybe aren't feasible in the future of video games as we know it. So I don't know. I mean, Gables like kind of what you know if you're like you look at these options, you know, if say there's I don't know, it's hard because we don't know the price point. Say there's a $200 difference between, you know, that it's $200 more for the home console than it is the portable option. Wait, what do you what would you think you would do?
Okay, what would I do in terms of like just what exactly? Just per se?
Say the PS6 handheld dockable thing is like $600, and then
Yes.
the PS6 like the more powerful version of it is $800. But it's like it's a home only. It's like a kind of how we know PS5. The more power, like kind of what we expect. Like it's a more powerful PS5. What would you do?
Okay, between the 600 and the $800 option where you just have like that handheld, or you just have like the base like console in that
Mm.
regards. That's a tough one because I have to look at the initial specs of the initial handheld itself, try to see what type of like the screen quality it is and like all the other stuff. And plus, if it
Assume it's
has
just
like the
say it's
initial like
LCD. It's not OLED. Just assume it's
right, obviously LCD, the introductory type of thing, and just trying to keep in mind that like I'm trying to think of the initial quality of like the initial controls itself too. We'll try to decide this decision because if they're going to be going for a handheld and it's got the same type of layout as say like a PS5 controller, I'm kind of wondering how easy it is to try to say fix like, just in case you come across the whole like say Joy-Con drift, kind of like what they're doing
yeah.
with their dual senses and all that other stuff.
Say it is what the PlayStation Portal is, but it's like
Yeah.
it's like the PS6 version of that. So it's like you can actually download the
Hmm.
games, but it looks exactly like a PlayStation Portal.
You know what? Honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I probably would more or less get like a $600 model as opposed to an
Okay.
$800 one because of the whole aspect of, yeah, it's portable. Yeah, if they did have like a little docked portion to it, I just plug it in the TV. I'm at the point where I'm not gonna be spending like $700 or $800 on a damn gaming console, and that's because of the fact that if I'm spending that much money, then I'm pretty much just gonna go and stick with my PC that I have for stuff. But
Yeah.
if I wanted to play my library of games that I bought on PlayStation, and I have the access of buying something a little bit cheaper, but at the same time something that's a little bit manageable in terms of a handheld, I'll go that route.
Okay. Yeah.
That's how I kind of view it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm the opposite where I would just like, if I'm in in for a penny, in for a pound type of situation. If I'm gonna spend for a couple $100 more, and like I'm someone that, like, when I have a Steam Deck, I have a Switch 2. I very very rarely play that thing handheld. So it's like, like I'd say I probably, like, percentage wise I play the Steam Deck more, because like, but it's like usually I'm playing Steam Deck. I'm playing like the like indie games on there, and it's like those are games like perfect for like handheld situations. And like when I'm playing my Switch 2, I'm playing like
Hmm.
the big the first party Nintendo games. So it's like, and for PlayStation, it's like the only thing I can think of is like it'd be great to like take my PlayStation handheld to like work or something like that and play a game of Madden or something on my lunch break or something like that, I guess. But
Yeah.
like that'd be the only situation where I'm like, this might be kind of cool, but I also be like super nervous about my PS6 handheld getting stolen or something like that. So I probably wouldn't
Oh
end up
yeah, no
doing it.
shit.
It's like, I'm gonna take my Steam Deck to work with me. That was like one of the original ideas I had. I think I brought it with me twice. It's just like, I don't like this $500 piece of hardware just sitting in my backpack. Like it just makes me nervous. I'm like, I'm just gonna leave it at home. Never mind. So I don't know. Everybody's different. So moving on though, Gables. This is kind of a fun one here. One of my favorite things we look at every month here, the Circana report. This is for July.
Mm,
This is Matt
mm.
Pizzatella. He has a whole thread here on Blue Sky. Gables, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, let's say 4 brand new games for the month of July on the top 20 list here. This is based off dollar sales, not individual units
Yep.
in the United States. So like I said, we have 4 in the top 20 here. Gables, you want to make some predictions for July games?
It's probably college football. That's probably the one of the
That
biggest
is
sellers.
So yeah, that's why it's technically 5 new things, but there's really 4 different games. So number 1 is EA College Football 26. Number 2 is the MVP bundle that gives you Madden and college football, um,
Just like last year.
just like last year. Yes. Any other predictions, Gables, for big July games? 2 of them which you have played.
Oh, cool. Two of them which that I have played in terms of that aspect too. That's oh god. Yeah, that's interesting. So you have Tony Hawk probably.
Number 4,
Yeah, number four
which is
stuff, and I'm
awesome,
trying to
being a
think.
Game Pass game. Number 4.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Game Pass game stuff. Oh my gosh. There's
Gables,
probably another one too that it's really obvious. Not that it's Donkey Kong Bonanza, isn't it?
that is number 3. Yes, and number 8,
Ah,
Gables,
good.
another Game Pass game that I don't think you would ever guess.
What?
Grounded 2.
Grounded 2 did
Yes.
well. Wow.
Yes. Number 8, which is awesome.
That's a
Obsidian.
surprise.
Obsidian's just killing it this year. We got Avowed, we got Grounded 2, and they still got Outer Worlds coming later this year. I believe I was looking at it. It looks like, if I had it right, when I was looking at it earlier, I think Grounded 2 was like the number one selling game, dollar unit wise, on PC last month, which is pretty crazy.
Huh.
Yeah. We're gonna run through the top 20 here. Gables, do you want to guess where Mario Kart 8 or Mario Kart World is on this list?
Mario Kart World. Okay, and so this is like a month removed from the initial release date.
Yep.
If I had to take a guess, I want to say maybe it's 12th place.
Gables, you're wrong. You want to know where it is?
Really?
Not
What
on the
is it?
list.
It's not on the list a
Not
month after?
Not on the list. Yes. To be fair,
God, that game fell off hard.
Nintendo does not give out reports on digital sales.
Right.
And from what we understand, I think it's like 87% digital sales for that game. So that will explain it. So, but yes, that number, yeah, not even like, it was actually the 6th best selling game on like, so far we don't have like so when we get sales for Switch games, it is Switch 1 and 2. Mario Kart 8 outsold Mario Kart World in the month of July.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's pretty much of a big deal right there, because it's like you have the new Mario Kart World is supposed to be replacing Mario Kart 8, but because of the pricing initial things, it sounds like there was probably a lot of people that decided when they bought their Switch 2 to get the pack-in of Mario Kart World and stuff, and did that digitally as opposed to just outright buy it in physical form.
Yeah, so pretty interesting on that one. But still, I shocking that it didn't even crack top 20. You like even like
right?
Donkey Kong Bonanza like number 3 for physical sales, which is I don't know, pretty crazy. But I mean we see like Cyberpunk in June jumped up into the like I believe the top 10 and last month because it came out on Switch 2. So we're not really seeing a lot of Switch effects a month in. But we'll run through the top 20 here. Number 20, F1 25. Number 19, Spider-Man 2. Number 18, FC 25. Number 17, Split Fiction. Interesting, Split Fiction.
Dang.
That's a game I really like to play. What about you, Gables? Would you really like to play Split Fiction?
Yes, I would like to play Split Fiction.
That's interesting. That is interesting. Number 16, Gables. One that really surprised me at number 16 here. It was the number 1 game in the month of June.
Mm-hmm.
Elden Ring Night Rain.
Yeah.
Big drop. It launched I think like May 31st or something like that, or May 30th. So its first month out, it was number 1, and then second month all the way down to 16. So number 15, NBA 2K25. Number 14, Elden Ring. Number 13, WWE 2K25. Number 12, drop for number 2 as well here. Death Stranding 2. Number 11, MLB The Show 25. Number 10, GTA 5. It just won't die. Number 9, Red Dead Redemption 2. Pretty interesting here that RDR 2 outsold GTA 5. Number 8, like we mentioned, Grounded. Number 7, Forza Horizon 5. Number 6, Minecraft. Number 5, Black Ops 6. Number 4, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3+4. Number 3, Donkey Kong Bonanza. Number 2, the MVP bundle. And number 1, College Football 26. Matt Piscatella did talk about that there was a 9% drop year over year for like the launch of college football, which is to be expected. Obviously, last year being the first one, I think in like 12 years, 13 years. So that is to be expected. But yeah, still like I believe it's already the third best. Let me pull up the report here. Yep. So nope, that is, well, sorry. Here it is. Nope, that's not it either. God damn it, I had it. It's gone. There it is. Top 10 best-selling game. No, Nintendo platforms. Here it is. This is Nintendo platforms. So this is Switch 1, Switch 2. I want to double check it. Mario Kart World is number 6 for the month. Behind Minecraft, Mario Kart 8, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4. Number 2, Mario Party Jamboree. Number 1, Donkey Kong Bonanza. Pretty interesting on that one. Like I did mention, though, Grounded 2 is the number 1 selling game on PC. I don't know what exactly that means as far as like Steam and all that. That part I do find interesting. I had it. Oh, here it is. Yeah, year to date. I do find this interesting, Gibbles. So Capcom mentioned that Monster Hunter Wilds was underperforming from what they expected. It is the number one
Right.
selling game of the year.
It's number one selling game of the year.
And they are disappointed by the sales. It was the fastest selling Monster Hunter game ever. And they're disappointed by the sales.
God, I hate these fucking AAA companies sometimes.
Right. Yeah, it's like Final Fantasy 16 was like the fastest selling Final Fantasy game ever, and they're like, disappointed. It's like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, I don't understand. It baffles me. So, Gables, the number two best selling game of the year, Oblivion Remastered.
You know what? I understand why that it was number two best selling game of the year.
That's
God.
a game that just shadow dropped though, and it's on Game Pass.
I know.
I
know, right?
Fucking boomers.
It just tells me that there's more people that are hungry for some like older, and not just older, but just like games that are not with a lot of bullshit attached to it.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, I mean, Elder Scrolls, like, I mean, there's been like 7,000 Skyrim ports, so like this is like the first actual like port or of anything of like. So I think it's just like hungry fans of Elder Scrolls as well, because like they haven't had a new game in.
True.
What was it like? Was that 2011 that came out? So.
Yeah, 2011 was Skyrim.
or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, EA Sports College Football 26 is number 3 best-selling game of the year already, and the MVP bundle is number 12 already. Donkey Kong Bonanza is number 20. That's all. Once again, though, only physical sales. Yeah, and Mario Kart World is not in here, so that tells you how many people were buying it digitally. The fact that it didn't even crack the top 20 so far for best-selling of the year. So yeah, I don't know. Pretty interesting. I always look forward to these. Like I talk all the time, where it's fun, like being in the gaming bubble sometimes. Like we're a little too into the weeds sometimes with like stuff. It's just kind of cool to see like what's actually going on out there. I don't know. It makes me excited too. Like it's fun to like get fun little surprises like Grounded 2, like this weird little like thing they just like announced at Summer Game Fest, and it's like it's early access. And it's already one of the best-selling games already on PC, so that makes me happy. Makes me feel good, warm and fuzzy on the inside, Gables. Anything else you want to mention before we move on though, Gables?
Nah, I think we're good.
All right, well, moving on here, Gables, to kind of, I just feel like we keep having this conversation, Gables. But this one is real. This one, Nate the Hate, who is, I think, probably the best Nintendo insider, at least most reliable insider for Nintendo, I would say, is saying that there will be some sort of direct happening around somewhere between September 11th and the 12th. And so it sounds like this will be an actual direct, though.
Really?
I feel like we've done this like 3 times already. But it's like, I don't know. Gables, how you feeling? Do you think this is happening?
All right, so first we get like a partner direct, and then all of a sudden we get like this initial direct here for Kirby Air Ride, and now we're gonna get a full-on direct. It's so crazy and nonchalant and stuff. This does sound like a Nintendo move and stuff, so I kind of feel like there has some bit of credence to it. But yeah, it just comes kind of like at a weird time though, because it's like you're just off the heels of like just 2 directs in the span of like what was it, like a month and a half or something like that, somewhere around that sort.
Yeah.
But then again, there are definitely some projects they have to give some bit of like updates to.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, though, I kind of feel like that's something that could potentially happen in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it is weird though. Like, we would assume there's gonna be a Metroid Prime 4 date at this, but it's weird that like,
yes,
what was it, last week or 2 weeks ago we got that Kirby Air Rider direct that comes out in like late November, and it's like, what I mean, cause it's weird to me like that got its own like 45, which was like way too fucking long for Kirby Air Rider direct. As much as I love Sakurai, but it's like we might potentially be getting unless it's like a Metroid Prime 4 direct. I guess I could see that happening. I really didn't think about it until we started talking about it. But like, it's weird to me though. Like that game would probably be coming sooner than those games. Like we look at like Pokemon's and October 16th, we have like November 20th for Kirby. So I would assume Metroid would be earlier, or maybe I guess it could be in between those. But it's just, I don't know. It's very weird how this is all working. But
I would have expected it to be like in October, for the release of like a Metroid Prime 4.
I
But
can I don't know because I don't. I mean, the only thing I can think of is like it's either gonna happen like it's coming in the next few weeks. I guess it could be December. It's not impossible. For our Fans Critic League, I hope it comes out in January. I mean, there was like reports out there that they were like maybe behind on schedule for that, but also it just came out for like we just got ratings for it like a couple weeks ago, so like that usually means it's done. So I don't know. I don't know what to expect for that game, but that's like the next big domino to drop. And then also I guess Hyrule Warriors. Be cool if we got a date for that one. Even though I'm not looking forward to playing it, I'm gonna buy it day one because I'm a sicko. But I don't know. I just it's just the same thing we've been talking about. It's like they've announced a decent amount for this thing. A few months like when they like what was that back in like April I want to say when they kind of did the big blowout for this, and we just we're just now waiting on concrete information and maybe like a couple like more little surprises for like hey, here's like what to expect early 2026. There's that. I guess I don't know. We might get that Super Miitomo game might show up again, Gables, which will upset me. But yeah, like I don't know. I mean, what are you really expecting? Like anything crazy big, or are you just expecting like dates?
quite honestly, if we have a direct that does happen in the next couple weeks, I'm really just expecting a little bit more review of what they're going to be putting out over the next couple months and stuff, and pretty much like date stuff. And
Yeah.
if possible, maybe some Switch Online stuff. I mean, I'm putting this bar low. I kind of want to know the releases of Metro Prime 4 at this point, and also in terms of seeing more stuff that they could potentially be releasing in the not too distant future and stuff. And yeah, the icing on the cake would be okay, well, here's some Switch Online stuff for, say, maybe, I don't know, maybe for like, say, GameCube, or maybe there's an announcement in the future of Wii games coming to like the Switch Online. It's
Virtual Boy.
just, or yeah, just that would be kind of funny. Just have a fucking Virtual Boy going on to that stuff.
Finally play Wario Land.
But yeah, there have been some rumors circling around that possibly Nintendo could put Wii games possibly next on the Switch Online, which it's 50-50, and I mean it's definitely possible because you got the gyroscope things for the Joy-Cons and stuff for some games.
Huh.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I kind of expect. Just to the nose, just release dates and then maybe some initial gameplay stuff or something else.
Yeah, I mean if they do the Wii thing, I almost feel like that's something you could wait till like next year when like we're a year into this, like everybody like a year into like the Switch 2 being out, and like people's
Yeah.
like their membership is coming up for the expansion pack, and it's like, hey, here's a new thing we're adding. That kind of like get people to re-up another year, because I mean we're still waiting on a bunch of GameCube games they've announced.
Yeah.
And then I'm assuming we're still gonna get 64 and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean I don't know. It's just like like I said, it feels like we've done this song and dance like multiple times now. Like, hey, there's rumors like, hey, the Animal Crossing might be at this thing. Like, hey, there's gonna be this and that, and it's like Pokemon Coliseum is gonna shadow drop. And it's just like I'm not even gonna try to get. I'm gonna try my best not even get excited. It's like there's so much stuff they've already announced that I'm like honestly the most exciting thing. Like I'm hoping that maybe we get the Hades 2 date. Like for like 1.0, like the last update they did was the last update before they go 1.0, they said. So I feel like that'd be awesome if like hey, we're announcing, maybe we don't shadow drop it because I got too much to play right now as is, but if like I don't know, maybe you want to put that out like November or something like that, like for me selfishly, put it on like November, that'd be great, because I would that'd be, like that's a good time for me. But yeah, that's kind of like honestly the thing I'm most excited for. Like I'm not a Metroid guy, I'm not an Animal Crossing guy. Hyrule Warriors is just like I said, like that's a game I'm not super looking forward to after that last Hyrule Warriors game.
Right.
But I'm gonna play it because I got issues, I guess I gotta work out with myself on that one. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like I'm just ready for this thing to get fucking let's just get just start putting dates out. It's like it is when this comes out, it'll be September when this podcast comes out. And it's like I don't know. Like it's wild to me that we're still waiting on some of these major holiday games from them.
Yeah,
Um,
really.
yeah. But Gable, anything else you want to say before we move on?
No, I think we're good to go.
All right. And then also, I mean, there might be that state of play this week. That'd be pretty sweet if that does happen. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. But Gables, let's jump into what we've been playing, buddy. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
You know what? I'll go first for this time here because
Okay.
there are definitely a couple of games I have been playing, a couple new ones. One of them that I would like to touch base with is like something that I've been playing off and on for like the past month here, and that's the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 plus 4 remake. I definitely have gotten more into completing a lot of the goals in terms of like the pro goal stuff. Finally, after quite a while, I finished the pro goal stuff for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, so I'm happy to say that. Getting some of the platinum medals upon some of the initial like competition levels and stuff wasn't too difficult per se, but there were a couple that I was kind of like, okay, where am I going to find this? And I eventually had to break down and use YouTube in order to try to find out where the heck some of these secret areas were or how I was supposed to accomplish some of these goals that they had to go through and have me do, especially for like some of the later levels, like say the the cruise ship and stuff. There was this one goal that I was trying to achieve, and I didn't know exactly how I was supposed to do it at first because they wanted you to perform the move Rocket Air from one lifeboat into the other. And so when I was trying to attempt it the first time, I was literally just going into the boat, riding the board, like launching myself off from one, doing a rocket air onto another one, and yeah, that didn't trigger the initial goal thing. No, it wasn't until I decided, okay, well, I looked up the video, and they basically was going up the side of one boat and kind of like almost transferring between like ramps and stuff like that in the air. You had to go from one side of the boat, just go, and then you had to try to land inside the other side, kind of like what you were doing for like crossing certain gaps and ramps and stuff. But how I initially accomplished it is I tried doing that, and then all of a sudden I landed a little bit too short, and I just started doing a grind, and then all of a sudden I did a flip trick into the bowl, and I accomplished it that way. I'm like, okay, well that works. But the pro, I know the pro goal stuff for some of the competition mode I just touched on before. The very last one where I had to accomplish another task on top of trying to get the platinum medal for the one in Tokyo. That one was fairly easy. That one was fairly interesting because when I looked at the video, I'm like, okay, how am I supposed to get into this area in order to do like the sow flip over this gap? And all of a sudden, I look it up, and somehow they were able to get their skater all the way up from the back portion of where you start and get enough air to where they started to grind across that initial portion, like to the left of the course, and they were able to transfer from one rail up a little bit higher and then skate the top of this particular sign that would break off and then crack up and then just crack into a different area. I'm like, well, that was not the easiest thing to friggin' discover. But I managed to do that. Managed to do the sow flip over a goal. Had to try it a couple times because the gap stuff I kept wanting to just double tap up on the analog stick instead of just going through just double tapping the one of the face buttons, the flip trick button, the X button, in order to try to do the sow flip stuff. But yeah, I have maybe done a little bit of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 Pro Goal stuff. Out of curiosity, I went ahead and I looked up the soundtrack stuff for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 because I had a thing one day where, okay, well, I'm in the mood to listen to the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 soundtrack. And the amount of music that is actually taken out from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 for the remix from this new release, there's a lot.
Hmm.
There's actually quite a bit of them. I mean, obviously, there's some initial ones that are there, like Del the Funky Homo Sapien. You had like CKY. You had like some other. pieces of songs and stuff. But then you had like some of the songs and stuff that I'm kind of figuring is like, well, I'm kind of surprised that one like didn't get into it or wasn't available in terms of licensing issues and shit. But yeah, I just maybe kind of wish that the soundtrack was a little bit better because there are some songs I really like some classic ones like My Adidas and stuff, and like you have Iron Maiden and stuff like that, The Number of the Beast and stuff, and then you have AC/DC obviously with TNT and like some of those other mainstay ones. But yet some of the other like newer music, some of it's not bad, but yet some I just can't listen to because it's just too repetitive. So I turn off some bit of those tracks. But other than that, though, I mean, I think the music inside of this remix stuff is all right. It's just not as memorable in terms of like the original releases. But the other game that I was playing quite a bit of, though, let's see, I was playing. Well, actually, I did play a little bit of Hollow Knight stuff, but I didn't play a hell of a lot of Hollow Knight though, because once I initially got past like the fungus, try to go through like the fungus level and stuff like that, I kind of stopped a little bit after that because I was intentionally trying to play like waiting and try to play that that new Shinobi game that came out, but there was a couple other games that kind of distracted me a little bit before I had a chance to really to play that. So what I ended up doing is I ended up started playing that rhythm game for Final Fantasy, that Theat rhythm game and
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
You know,
Theater Rhythm.
the one that I used to play on the 3DS and stuff. But they had that released a couple years ago for
Yeah.
like PS4, Xbox, like Steam, and some other stuff. And I've been having a fun time try to like play different songs and this and that, trying to match everything and stuff. And then I noticed something was happening to my DualSense controller. I was starting to have some bad stick drift.
Hmm.
And well, let's just say this, man. It's like when you come across stick drift, you come across it at the most inopportune time. And for me, I was playing one of those songs, and all of a sudden I just start like losing like notes and stuff like, okay, how the hell am I missing this, or why am I missing that? You know. So I turn off the game right, and it has the freaking thing where if you have stick drift, things just start to auto scroll like in a specific direction, which for me, the left side is what it chose to do. So I tried doing my best with it. I've tried like using little toothpicks and all this other stuff just to make sure if I got like a lot of dirt out of it. What's funny enough, what ended up kind of working for me for a little while is for the left analog stick, you can actually pull up a little bit, and all of a sudden it's like it kind of alleviates some bit of like the stick drift issue. So I'm kind of wondering if like some little bit of dirt got inside of the initial part inside the analog lever itself or something. But I've come across this same thing before when I was playing Elden Ring a while ago. And quite honestly, I had to replace that controller because the stick drift was so severe and stuff that even when I went through to take a look and try to clean it out, yeah, it just did not work. It just did not go through what I wanted to do. So this past week, I have been trying to look at different prices for some controllers. I've thought about the DualSense one because, okay, that one at least I could switch out a bit of the thumbstick stuff if it does have drift issues. I've looked into some of the other controller alternatives, like they have the Scuff controller and then all this other stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, well, that's kind of a little bit more than I kind of want to spend on one controller. I mean,
Yeah.
when it starts becoming as expensive as a game console or expensive as, like, say some gaming handhelds, I don't know. But it didn't stop me from like playing a couple of different other games and stuff. I mean, obviously Tony Hawk stuff on Game Pass I played, obviously like the Final Fantasy stuff. But then I started like getting curious about what was going on with one of these betas that were occurring like recently. And so I started playing a little bit of the beta for Sonic Racing CrossWorlds
Oh, okay.
because I wanted to give it a shot. It looked fairly interesting in terms of their initial concept of what they want to do with this kart racer. And I'm not gonna lie, after spending like close to about an hour, like a little bit over an hour playing the beta, I mean, since recording now, it's kind of it's kind of over right now, the beta process and stuff. I think they ended it like around close to midnight Eastern time. I kind of liked playing that Sonic Racing like CrossWorlds game, and it's because when you try to play these different courses, it's not just a straight on, okay, we're going to go around like for 3 laps and stuff. There's not going to be barely any change in between other than some cosmetic stuff. The whole gimmick of this is when you're racing on the racetrack and stuff, if you're in first place, you get to choose the option of going between one course or another based upon if you choose it's just basic RNG type of manipulation to where if you finally get to the thing and you choose between 2 tracks, you can actually transform the track into like a different area. And so that's part of kind of the initial gimmick of this is where you're playing these different courses, you get the flash in different points in different areas. It's like alternative shortcuts pretty much.
Hmm.
So I've tried initial things for the single player. I've tried out a couple different drivers and stuff, like Sonic and then like Shadow, and then also they were having like a weird tie-in crossover thing with Persona 5, so I had a chance to play as Joker
Okay.
for that initial stint and stuff. So I got some things unlocked, including like a little decal and stuff of Joker that I could put on my freaking car and stuff. But the online stuff was fairly competent. It wasn't like dropping any frames or not. It didn't seem like it was having too many issues. It is crossplay, so I had a chance to play against people playing on the Switch and also playing on the PC and stuff. So I kind of like that because it's not tying into one initial console system. Like, for example, with Mario Kart World, one of the initial gripes I really have with it is because it's just on the Nintendo system, you're really tied to just Switch Online, and that can be really shoddy in some places. But from my experience playing like Sonic Racing Crossroads online, it was fairly much a positive experience. There was some team battle stuff I didn't like so much of because if, like, say you're in last place and stuff, you kind of like drag down your entire team and stuff with you. But one other thing I kind of didn't like about it is like if you bump into another driver, all of a sudden you start losing rings.
Mm.
And what's kind of funny is like, in Mario Kart, when you collect coins, it's supposed to be for like speed boost or whatsoever and stuff. And even if you like, say you bump into a driver, you're not going to lose the coins. If you're hit with an item, sure. But when you're playing Sonic Racing Crossroads, it's kind of like a little added factor to where even if you hit the wall, even if you like hit another person or something like that by accident, you start losing rings. And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell is this all about? I mean, I get it if I'm hit by an item or a couple different items and I lose rings that way, but running into a wall, like running into like say other drivers that don't even have any type of like major items on me, that doesn't seem right, I mean, I wish they kind of would adjust that. But as with like say Mario Kart World, you can do modifications to your cars. You can do like specific type of like modifications for the type of speed, type of acceleration, the type of steering stuff. I mean, those are some of the more positive aspects I thought of like was presented in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, to where they borrow some good parts about Mario Kart and stuff, but it just feels like it's sort of fresh because it's something a little bit different that they're approaching. I know from my time playing like Team Sonic Racing, I had some fun with it, but I thought it was kind of repetitive in certain spots, and that the story was just pretty much like plain one-dimensional type of stuff. It got kind of old fairly quick. But for this one, this seems more in line with, say, it's Sonic Racing, like All Star Racing Transformed and stuff that I played on the Wii U all those years ago.
Okay.
So I really did enjoy just playing bits of that stuff. But let's see. Other than that, though, yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing for this week.
All right. I talked about at the top of the show. I've been mostly playing, Metal Gear Solid Delta. I did though buy the Helldivers 2 Halo, War Bond. So I've yet to play it though. But I did buy that and unlocked a bunch of the gear on there. I had a bunch of points saved up from previous games that like I was able to unlock a good chunk of stuff on that. But I'm looking forward to jump back into that one. But I've been playing Metal Gear Solid Delta. Um,
Mm.
Cable. It's a weird game to talk about. In the sense of like, it is a like, it's a 1-for-1 remake. Like, they're not doing anything different, anything stylish or not. This isn't Resident Evil. It's almost like it's a weird game to review because it's just like it's like if you're a fan of the original Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, then you're gonna be a fan of this one. If you like, you don't like if you those games still hold up to you to this day, then like you're gonna love this. If you're someone that like doesn't have nostalgia for this type of game and you want like really good like gunplay and combat and all that, you're probably not gonna like this. It's like it's almost like I mean, it's not a box of chocolates. You know what you're gonna get. This like it is like I said, 1-for-1, warts and all. This game is Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence that I played on PS2 and like 2004, 2005, whenever I bought that thing for $15 at a Blockbuster. I always had to buy my all my Metal Gear Solid games. The 5 was the first one I ever bought at launch. So all the other ones I bought like 2 years later. But anyways, like this is just like it is an Unreal Engine 5 version of Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence. Like if it's they literally are. It is literally the subsistence version in Unreal Engine 5. The combat is the same. The shooting mechanics are the same. The biggest thing is like honestly that they've done is like the button mapping is a lot better. Like as far as like if like they've kind of modernized it, so like you hit up on the D-pad, you could change the camouflage in your face on that instead of have to go into the actual like menu and like go through and scroll through and select it. So you can like do really fast there or hit down on the D-pad. It brings up all your for codec calls and stuff like that. The hardest part, Gables, for me, honestly, I think in this whole game is like, as someone that's been playing, I played the Metal Gear Solid on PlayStation 1 way back in 2000. Obviously, like Metal Gear Solid to me is like, that was my favorite franchise growing up. And I mean, to this day, probably still is one of my favorites. But like going all the way back to Metal Gear Solid 1 on PlayStation 1, hitting L1 and R1, that was how you control the weapons and item screens. And this one, it's left and right in the D-pad. So like even all the way, like I'm up to the, like literally I'm at the final boss. So I'm like 12 hours in now. Like still at this point, I'm still like I hit the L1 R1 to like switch my weapons. I'm like, ah shit, no, it's left and right. Like I'm still, you can't undo 25 years of like I've been playing games. I've been playing these games this way for this long. Even though I haven't played I haven't really sat down and played a whole Metal Gear Solid game. And probably I don't know, like 7-8 years now. I guess I played that Masters Collection like last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But still, like it's like it is just like burned into like my my fingers, I guess. I don't know. Like it's Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence was one of my favorite games, back in the day. Like I said, like I still am to this day, like a Kojima fanboy, I Gables had to deal with me in my 4-year odyssey of fighting through Death Stranding to beat that game because I didn't like it, and it's just like like there's like so much I still love about this game, but it's definitely like there are still the frustrations of like even 20 years ago when I played Snake Eater for the first time. It's like the combat was like the CQC close quarter combat was like weird and kind of clunky. Even back then the shooting wasn't the best, and it's like it is still that game. Like they didn't really enhance anything in that sense of like the everything, like as far as I could tell, like I think they made like Snake a little more emotive in certain situations, like in cutscenes. Mm-hmm. But I mean, everything is the same. The cutscenes are the same. Like the voice acting, there's no changes in voice acting. They've added a new some handful of like suits, like sneaking suits and stuff you can wear throughout the game. But like it's a couple different masks. But like it is that game that you played. If you played Subsistence or you played the HD remaster on the 360 PS3, or you played the Master Collection on Volume 1, on PS4 and Xbox, whatever it was that came out a couple years ago, like you played this game. Like you can literally play. Hell, if you played the 3DS version of Snake Eater, you've played this game. It is that game, and like for better or worse, like here's like it's hard to like. It's just like I honestly feel the same way talking about this game as I did like Last of Us Part 1, where like Last of Us Part 1 is my favorite games, one of my favorite games of all time. And it's just like, hey, it's just like that was one of my favorite games, but like it looks like a modern day game. And this is like, hey, this is one of my favorite games, but it is a 20-year-old game that was kind of didn't control the best 20 years ago, and it is that game now. And it's like I can get past it because of my nostalgia for this game, and I'm not someone that necessarily needs like the greatest of gameplay. Like I did finish Mafia: The Old Country last week. That game fucking rules. I love that game still, but it's like that game is like the gameplay and the shooting in that game is not great, but it is an improvement over what Snake Eater Delta is. But like I feel like I know it sounds like I'm being down on it, but it's like I love this game. It is one of my favorite games of all time. But it is definitely like if you were like jonesing to play this and maybe you're on a bit of a budget, or like, hey, like I don't have the money to go, like there's other games that we'll be playing right now. It's like this isn't like if you are like this isn't like a run out and need to buy. Like this isn't Resident Evil 2 remake or any of the Capcom remakes or anything like that. Like this is like, hey, this is subsistence, but it looks like a 2025 game, which I love. Like don't get me wrong, I'm having like nostalgia is hitting me hard. Like I'm like, man, I remember like going through so many of these scenes here. Like I'm having flashbacks. Like I've beaten Snake Eater, I don't know, probably 10 times, you know, like, and I even playing like, I played it, you know, all the way through like, I don't know, about a decade ago. And I still love this game. But it's just like, it is not like a run out and buy type of scenario. Unless, like I said, like unless you're like someone like me that's like, hey, I'm going to buy this. I'm going to play through it. I love this game so much. This game means so much to me, and it does. It's like I'm having so much fun with it, but it's like I said, like I don't know, like if you have like you're looking at 4 other games, new experiences that you could be having, and you're really looking forward to those things. This isn't like like get one of those. And like I said, I know it sounds like I'm being overly negative, and I promise you I'm not. Like I said, I adore this game. I'm loving it. I'm having a great time with it. It's just man, like there, like I said, the nostalgia. Like I get chills at some of these points, some of these like moments of this game, the music going up that ladder for the first, like, and hearing the Snake Eater, or some of like just the crazy cutscenes, or like Revolver Ocelot doing the little hand thing. Like I'm like, man, like I do that randomly for some times, and like the little stupid like hand thing. And, like I've been doing that for 20 years, and it's like it's so funny to see that. It's like, man, I don't know why. I just ever since like when I was a teenager 20 years ago, I started doing that little stupid thing that Revolver Ocelot does, and I still do that to this day, randomly to people, and nobody gets it but me. But I get it, but nobody else. Like everybody's like, what the fuck? This guy's fucking weird. I'm like, I know, I'm weird. But like, yeah, it's just like, I mean, I'm talking like down to like the achievements and trophies in this game. I'm playing on PS5, but like, for as far as I can tell, the trophies and the achievements are exactly the same as what they were on the HD remaster that came out on 360 and PS3 almost 20 years ago. Like this thing is like, wow. Yeah, like I'm like, man, I remember unlocking these same ones like on my 360, playing that remaster a while ago. So it's like, I don't know, like I said, like I love this game. It's one of my favorites. But it's like I'm like I've been thinking about like when we do our top 10 games of the year at the end of the year, I'm like I might put this in like that Last of Us Part 1. I excluded from my rankings because I'm like it's just a 1-for-1 remake, but like it looks like a modern day game. And like this is the exact. It's like it is. This is like when we do our top 10 list for this year, I don't think I'll put this on my like. I don't think I will include this in the conversation because it's just like I don't know how to rank it because it's like they didn't change anything, and like for better or for worse, they didn't change anything. It's like one of those things where it's like also where it's like I don't think I want them to change anything because like I mean Kojima not being involved in this, like if they change it, it'd be like there'd be revolt towards it. But it's like this weird thing where it's like almost a little negative on it because like they didn't change anything. But I don't know, like I said, it's just like I said, I've been like him and Han. I'm like, how do I want to talk about this game? Because it's like I've talked about this game for 20 years about how it's one of my favorite games of all time, and I love it so much. As like it is like it's just that game again, but it looks good. But yeah, I to me it's worth it. Like I paid the I spent the extra $10 to get the early access. Like you got it like I think it was like 3 days early and then you got some like extra stuff with it for doing that. And it's like I'm totally pumped for that. I paid $80 for this game, and like I don't regret it one goddamn bit. But yeah, like if you're so like I said, if you're someone that's like I have all these other games I want to be playing, or I don't have time for it, I was like but I love this game. It's like I would say buy something different. If like you buy something new rather than like hey like if you're on a budget, but like otherwise like you're gonna buy this game like if you think like if you love Snake Eater to this day, warts and all, you're gonna love this game too. And that's yeah, I don't know, but yeah, like it's a good fucking game, Gables. I don't know what else to say about it. It's like hey, it's like yeah, it's a 2025 version of my favorite game, one of my favorite games of all time. But anyway, sorry going like I feel like I was all over the place in that one, but it's like it's just it's weird. It's like it's such a it was harder for me to like as I was playing this, like it's hard for me like when I was like trying to get my thoughts together. I'm like, this review is so much harder than I thought it would have been going into it. But it's just like, yeah, I don't know. It's like, anyways, moving on. I think it's going to wrap it up though, actually, for the week. If you guys like the show, like what we're doing, please follow, subscribe, 5-star reviews, comments, likes, thumbs up, hit my mic there. Sorry about that. Go to YouTube, sign up for a membership, just $1 a month. You know, nothing really extra to give you, but just a way of saying thank you to us. Or like, hey, you like what we're doing? We're like, we're two guys. We just do this for fun. We have jobs, you know. We just like video games and we like talking about them. So if you want to support us, please do that. But otherwise, we're on every podcast service out there. You can just find us on there, subscribe, 5 stars, whatever. But I was your host. I was Tyler.
I'm Incredible Gables. Until next time, everyone. Here's the football.
Here's the football, Gables. Bye, guys.
But yeah, thank you very much for listening to a fun-filled episode of the DrunkNerds podcast. And thank you all for tuning in.
Bye, guys.